Did you know that Brazil wasted $13.5 billion for a mega project that was only used once and then remains essentially abandoned to this day? And that there is a 20-lane highway that was built for millions of cars but remains practically empty? In this video, we will explore 5 of the most pointless mega projects in the world. But before we continue, make sure to like the video and subscribe to Mega Cities. Share your thoughts about these mega projects in the comments below. Number 5. Yujiapu Financial Capital, China. We start our list with one of China's most expensive urban developments, the Yujiapu Financial District, popularly known as China's New Manhattan, features towers that are modeled after the famous Lincoln Center and Rockefeller Center. The project, with an estimated cost of $30.4 billion, began in 2008 over a 1.5 square mile area. The neighborhood, which is located just outside of Tianjin, will include 47 new office and residential towers when it was finished in 2019. The goal of the 2009 development project was to transform Yujiapu into the financial center of the world, complete with skyscrapers, green spaces, and a high-speed train linking the area to Beijing. However, by 2014, the project's construction had stopped. According to the South China Morning Post, Gao Fei of Centaline Property at the time declared the development to be a failure before it even began. Since then, little has changed. The Morning Post reported in February of 2018 that some buildings appear to be vacant or still under construction, while others appear to be only partially occupied. The Morning Post claims that despite the construction of a high-speed rail in Tianjin, the region's economy has not expanded as a result, and that the financial capital is still what looks to be a ghost city. Despite the negotiations to resume development, little progress has been made, and the Yujiapu Financial District remains a deserted version of Manhattan to this day. Number 4. Rio Olympic Way, Brazil. Hosting the Olympics is a badge of honor for any city and requires the building of specially constructed venues to host the games. Athlete accommodations, multiple stadiums, and upgraded transportation infrastructure all are needed to host the games. And once the venues are built, their continued use can benefit the city for decades afterwards. In 2012, Brazil was awarded to host the Summer Olympics, and the approval was made to modernize Rio de Janeiro to be capable of hosting the renowned event. However, as construction progressed towards the hosting of the 2016 Olympics, multiple cost overruns occurred, and repeated construction setbacks resulted in some of the venues never being completed. This included the Olympic Boulevard, the Metro Line 4, the Olympic Park, and the bus system. In addition, Brazil built most of the venue with little forethought and were designed as a one-time use mega project, completely missing out on the benefit from the continued use for years to come. Of the 27 stadiums completed, according to ESPN, just 15 of them stage a post-Olympics event a year after the Games, while the rest sat mostly unattended and allowed to slowly degrade. Other sites haven't fared much better over time, with a Brazilian judge ordering the closing of the Rio Olympic Park in 2020 due to safety concerns. With the Velodrome Stadium roof at risk of collapsing due to being damaged by fire, the Olympic Park has remained closed to any sports events. Brazil's Citizenship Ministry has tried to reutilize the stadiums to host sports events with minimal success and remains a pointless mega project to this day. Number 3. Naypyidaw, Myanmar. So next on our list is the city of Naypyidaw. Built from scratch, it was chosen to serve as Myanmar's new capital city. In an effort to relocate the nation's capital geographically near the country's center, the government of Myanmar started building the new capital in 2002. There were no obvious explanations for this abrupt change in capital, but rumors say it concerned Yangon, the previous capital. Concerns over exhausted infrastructure capacity seem to be the main reason for the change. So it was decided to move the capital to a new location, where better infrastructure could be built to accommodate future population growth. The megacity of Naypyidaw was finished in 2012 at the cost of $4 billion. The city is designed as a metropolis with a 20-lane freeway, dozens of luxury hotels, shopping centers, and a 99-meter-tall statue that originally came from Yangon. However, the city is missing the main aspect of what makes a city: the people. The capital is home to fewer than 1 million people, who mostly lived in the region long before the area was developed. So why does nobody wish to reside there? Most of the population is hesitant due to a persistent shortage of healthcare facilities, lack of high-quality educational institutions, and minimal employment possibilities. As a result, the city gives off the impression of being deserted and resembles a ghost town. The amazing 20-lane highway is almost completely deserted. The airport in the city has a capacity of 3.5 million passengers annually, yet only about a dozen people will actually utilize it on a busy day. And the malls are only visited on the weekends. Naypyidaw has potential as it is built as a city of the future. With a growing population, it's just a matter of time until it becomes a bustling capital city. But for now, it's without a doubt the world's emptiest capital and remains pointless for much of the country's population. Number 2. Abandoned Ghost City, China. Real estate boomed as China became a major economic force in the early 2000s. Mega projects arose everywhere, and some of the most recognizable skyscrapers in the world found a home in the nation's biggest cities. One specifically was the 1,800-acre Zhangjian International Project. It was even called a city inside a city. The project was split into two halves and cost $3 billion to develop, one part being apartments and housing, and the other being a commercial hub. Due to its close proximity to underground metro stations and a high-speed train stop, the project's location was positioned for growth. So, how did this massive undertaking come to be abandoned in an area with so little population? Initially, there was a lot of enthusiasm when the initiative was first unveiled. 700 housing units were quickly sold. But then in 2014, the construction was stopped abruptly as the real estate company behind the project was put under investigation by the local authorities. By 2017, the primary developer had been convicted of the allegations of corruption and was in jail. As a result, the value of the properties fell precipitously, and the corporation filed for bankruptcy. Due to the government seizure of the project, hundreds of homeowners are currently unable to move in. The partially completed development is still unfinished to this day, and the portions that have already been created have started to deteriorate. Right outside the development, busy activity occurs, but inside the complex shows eerie, deserted buildings that are home to wildlife and stray animals. To this day, there has been no official statement that the $3 billion mega project will resume and will continue to serve as a tourist attraction for ghost city adventurers. Number 1. Berlin-Brandenburg International Airport, Germany. In 1990, it was becoming obvious that Germany was going to need a larger airport. Government officials weighed the cost of building a new airport and ultimately settled on expanding the existing Schönefeld Airport to meet the needs of a growing population. Then, after 15 years of debating and planning, work finally began in 2008, with a planned grand opening date of October 2011. However, once work began, technical complications arose from upgrading the existing airport, pushing the opening date out to June 2012. Then, shortly after the construction complications were identified, the planning company for the project filed for bankruptcy. Then, a month before the expected grand opening, the decision was to postpone the grand opening, citing fire safety issues from bad electrical wiring during the airport upgrades. During the time the fire safety issues were being fixed, the planning company CEO stepped down, and a director was accused of bribes. This was followed by the new CEO also being accused of corruption and stepping down. To top it off, the Fire Safety Inspection Company also filed for bankruptcy and provided fake engineering documents. Then in 2017, construction resumed under a new CEO. Another year of construction and the airport was complete. However, it still didn't open for another 3 years after that due to not receiving the permit approval by the Berlin Aviation Authority. Then, in October of 2020, the airport finally opened to the first passengers. Unfortunately, due to demand, 2 of the 3 terminals have remained closed and is considered a pointless mega project. So, what do you think of these mega projects? Do you think any of these have a shot at being useful in the future? Let us know in the comments down below. And if you want to see more similar projects, you can watch our 2 videos right here. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.